Hey, this is Delilah from Midtown Comics. No, I'm just kidding. This is Greg, obviously. And we are here with the voice of Colossus from Deadpool.
And where are the Colossus t-shirts?
There. Thank you so much.
Deadpool?
Yes, Deadpool. He's a little popular. He's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
He is, though.
So, first and foremost, there was a lot of discussion about the movie being PG-13 or R, and obviously they sided with R.
Mm-hmm.
And people were concerned it wouldn't do that well at the box office because it limits the audience. But that wasn't the case. It already broke a record.
Oh, yeah.
It already made over $12 million. So
In
what does that feel like?
pre-screening, yeah. It feels amazing, like everything else about Deadpool movie, because, we didn't expect this kind of hype and, this craziness all around the world, especially like in Europe, which are like not too much into superhero movies. But, every screening is sold out, so it's totally crazy, and I'm so proud and happy to be a part of this. Amazing.
What does it feel like to be Colossus? We've already seen Colossus on the big screen, but this feels truer to Colossus. It looks just like him in the comics, and finally he has more than one line. So what does it feel like to finally bring this guy to life?
Well, first of all, I feel like a comic book geek, so from one perspective, I didn't want to disappoint myself, and disappoint a lot of fans and people who like expecting how like the real Colossus, the authentic Colossus. So thank God for Tim Miller, who is a big fan too. So he wanted to make something that no one did before. So to have like the comic book character just jumped onto a screen. So we did it, and I'm a fan of X-Men, and to be Colossus, to be Piotr Mikolaevich Rasputin is something that was like dreaming my whole life.
What was it like collaborating with Tim Miller and Ryan Reynolds? I mean, I know there was a lot of improv. Did you get to improv anything, or did you mostly stick to the really good script?
Script was fantastic, but with Tim Miller and with Ryan, there were so many of improvisations all the time, and the writers were with us all the time. So we changed so many lines. We were like doing so many funny stuff, and Ryan was always like, "Come on, let's try. Maybe Colossus could say so many things in like different languages." But Tim Miller didn't want to have so many of maybe some politically incorrect things. So we stayed with like honest, gentle Colossus that everybody knows.
Yeah. I mean, he's a big dude, looks very scary, very strong, but he has such a warm heart.
A warm heart and like gentle soul. He's some kind of a Marvel Universe's Superman, fighting for justice. He's an old-fashioned, real superhero, and I'm so proud that I'm playing him because he's like a father figure to the new young X-Men. So he's an iconic character, one of the greatest X-Men.
He's literally the Man of Steel.
Oh yeah.
Was Colossus always your favorite, or did you have who are some of your favorite X-Men?
Wolverine, first of all. The first comic book that I got was Wolverine, number 50, I think, with a claw ripping the first page, something like that, and then the X-Men. Plus, I love Punisher. Punisher is one of my favorite characters ever, and I'm still waiting for the best Punisher movie. Who knows? Maybe it will come soon. But then again, all those X-Men are perfect. I love Professor Xavier, his powers. When people are asking me which powers would I love to have, I always go with Professor Xavier's powers.
I would go for Nightcrawler. Commuting is really short that way.
yeah. But still, if you can take all those powers, for yourself.
Sure.
Adamantium skeleton, claws, and Cyclops, beams, and Xavier's mental powers. It could be really funny.
Yeah. So you said one of your favorites is Wolverine. Are you hoping one day to get to voice the fastball special where Colossus throws Wolverine at something?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm hoping that we're going to have Colossus in his human form, because I would love to see that, and I would love to work as Piotr Mikolaevich Rasputin before he becomes Colossus in his metal form, because that would be really interesting to see. Colossus Piotr in his human form is not taller than me. I'm 6'4.5", 6'5". He's approximately 6'5". Before he becomes Colossus, and then he goes up and away. He becomes much bigger, taller, stronger, and everything. So that would be really cool to see.
I know you obviously shouldn't spoil anything, but is there anything you could tease maybe about your favorite scene in the film?
The final monologue, when Colossus is trying to stop Deadpool from killing Ajax. So the moment when I come and go with like 4 or 5 moments. That's all it takes to be a hero, you know. So that's something that really explains who is Colossus, and you know his efforts to get Deadpool to become one of the X-Men, to use his powers for good. But then again, that's why they took Colossus to be that kind of a contrast to Deadpool's character, because there's no better hero in X-Men universe that can be that kind of a contrast to Deadpool.
What do you think it is that makes their dynamic so special? Because you're such a good guy. Deadpool, he's kind of an anti-hero in the movie. Was it a lot of fun?
Good things in a bad way.
Yeah.
That's the way I see Deadpool. In a funny and bad way, though.
So, what was it like when you found out you were going to become Colossus for you?
The feeling was equal that they called me for Academy Awards and say, Stefan, you're nominated for Academy Award. I think that's totally the same thing how I felt, because from my perspective, I remember when I was like 6-year-old kid, getting my first Marvel comic, how happy I was, dreaming about becoming a superhero. So like 31 a year after, 37 now, so I'm getting that that thing. I'm getting my gold medal. So it's unbelievable. It's I cannot even verbalize it. It feels so surreal. I'm still trying to realize that.
I'm still trying to realize that I'm talking to Colossus. So feelings mutual. So the co-writers have announced they're already working on a second script. Mm-hmm. We don't know if it'll be called Cable Deadpool, Deadpool 2, whatever.
We still don't know anything about it. We just know that it's greenlighted, and we have those rumors that Cable is gonna appear. I really don't know anything about it, but the thing is, Deadpool is doing really amazing, and Colossus is a big part of a Deadpool. So we have Colossus finally, as he's got his own time, his own spot. People love him. I had so many amazing reviews, and so many people are raving about Colossus. So I think that he should definitely be in the sequel, or maybe some of the other X-Men movies that are coming out. So I don't know still anything, but I think Deadpool and Colossus, they have amazing chemistry. So I think that should continue.
Is there anything you'd really like to see Colossus do in the sequel? Do you have a Colossus wish list?
Yeah, I would like to meet with his or mine, if I'm going Colossus, with his sister Iliana Mashik. I think that would be perfect for a movie. And by the way, if we have X-Force in the sequel, it will be, Colossus was even a part of X-Force in one moment. So, there are so many storylines that can collide, and there's so many amazing, stories about him. So let's see, what the writers are gonna do, because they did an amazing job, first part. So I'm sure they're gonna do the same thing again.
For sure. What's really interesting about X-Force is originally, there's the X-Force in the 90s, but more recently, Cyclops created a Black Ops team with Wolverine, where it's you go do the dirtiest stuff that needs to be done. Obviously, Colossus, if that's the approach they go, he'd be very against that. So if there's an X-Force movie where it's the bad guy and not so good guys doing what needs to be done, how could you see Colossus having a lot of interesting conversations there with Wolverine, Deadpool?
Conversations and fights and who knows what else, it just depends how they're gonna lead the characters. In the sequel, but there are so many options, so many beautiful options, so many beautiful fights. So maybe we can even bring Juggernaut, to have that kind of fight, to see some of those strongest, Marvel heroes fight. That would be there's so many things that we can do in the sequel.
So last question: why should people go see Deadpool this weekend, or whenever they're watching it in the future? Why should people go see Deadpool?
Because Deadpool is definitely a game changer in the superhero movie universe, and it's something that's so clever, so sharp, so funny, so many brilliant action scenes, and amazing Ryan Reynolds and whole cast in the movie, and
And you.
So that's something that people will love, Definitely, everybody loves Deadpool right now. So I think people are maybe tired from all those regular superhero movies, and this is something totally different. So, and I know if they see the movie once, they're gonna have to see it again, because it's so good.
I've seen it 3 times. I'm probably seeing it again this weekend with my friends. I have to bring them to it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, I loved it, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so happy.